Hey, what's up, everybody? Pat here, grateful recovering alcoholic and addict, just like every day, my friends. Guys, please don't forget to subscribe, leave the video a like, and drop me a comment, and share it with anybody who might get something out of it. Other than that, you guys know the deal. It's Sunday, God's day, and reflecting, my friends. And yeah, after the week that I've had, and I love the week that I have. So many people have reached out, and it's been amazing, and it's really shown me the solidity in my new life. And I, at the end of the day, I truly believe that was the lesson that God wanted me to see in this. God knows, and again, whatever you choose to call your God, I call mine God because that's what it is to me, and that's what's comfortable to me. But again, however you give reverence, whatever your faith looks like, dive into it, guys. It is hugely powerful. It is the driving force behind my recovery, and it has given me so much more than just recovery. And that's what I've come to see this week. I wanted to be able to put down the drugs and start to find a way to live. And, again, I'm just coming up on 6 months, but in that 6 months, I've found a life. I found a community. I'm finding family. I'm finding that I'm a part of. And I'm finding that I've got all this power because I choose not to try to be powerful, but to try to make the biggest difference that I can with the resources and the energy and the knowledge that I have. And that is just become an incredibly powerful situation. I don't like. I'm a humble person by nature. I don't like getting on here and being braggart, but I list a lot of things because I want you guys to understand that when you do the work, right? When you give reverence to God, and more so, when you remove your own limiting beliefs from the equation by turning things over to the God of your choice, right? Whatever your higher power is, guys. Prayer and meditation, as I talk about so often, and again, meditation when you're ready for it. But prayer, everybody should have some sort of prayer. It's just an open communication, and sometimes, guys, it's almost like channeling, or not channeling, rather, but journaling. It is a great way to just understand where you're at. You know what I mean? Just speak to your God, and give your reverence, and then just speak your concerns. And then if you take it a step further and you meditate with it, you usually get a lot of ideas. And at least I have. For me, I always have to speak for me because I don't pretend to know everything for everybody else. I'm just finding out stuff for myself. But I have found this amazing, amazing little dance I'm doing with God by turning it over to Him and just giving Him immense amount of praise, and then acting in accordance with the way that I'm being told in meditation that I should, paying attention to the signs and synchronicities around me, and then acting on them, and just trying to make a difference everywhere I go. I'm going to give you a prime example. I woke up today, and guys, what a difference between this Sunday and last Sunday. Let me tell you, I was very happy to go to church today and listen to Scripture. As opposed to, at the exact same time last week, rather than going to church, I was sitting in the waiting room at the hospital waiting to see what was going on. And look how well God took care of me throughout that whole ordeal. I was literally told by the doctors that I had to allow narcotics in my medication. Guys, I stood 10 toes down. I literally, right up until surgery, I made, again, I've never been somebody to push the issue. I don't like to make waves. I don't like to, be confrontational. But today I'm not afraid to be. And I do so in the nicest way possible. But I made it abundantly clear all the way through. And then I took the extra step of asking them what exactly the anesthesia, because I've never been put under anesthesia before. And I was very concerned of what they were going to, be putting in my body. For once in my life, it matters to me. And I'm so glad that I did, because they come down and they explain it all to me. And there was narcotics in there. And I'm like, Doc, no. I'm like, I don't think you understand. I'm like, if you can explain to me why I have to have them, I'll allow it. But if it's my choice and I can avoid it, I'm going to avoid it. And he let me know that, again, his concern was when I woke up from being, because they can knock me out without narcotics. I'm like, great, that's all I care about. My Doc, if you can't, then you can give me Novocaine, and I'll sit here wide awake while you do it. Like, literally, I'm that firm on this. Like, there is a monster that lives in my brain, and I've slayed that dragon. And under no circumstances will I take a risk of allowing that to happen. And I'm not saying it has to be the same for everybody, but I know my history, guys. And in the past, every time I've let that one little mistake, I'll have one little slip. I'll just take this one, I'll just take this one time for this situation because it's a special situation, and that's all it's taken, guys. And everything I built has gone out the window. And today I won't let that happen. So when they started to explain to me what was in the anesthesia, I'm like, nope. Like propanol was the main one that they used to knock me out. And I'm like, that's fine. No problem. Liquid Advil, fantastic. Antibiotics, no problem. methadone, liquid morphine, all these things they started telling me. And I'm like, no, absolutely not, doc, absolutely not. I can't. It's not that I'm afraid of saying I took these things. I'm afraid of what's going to happen afterwards. I'm afraid of flipping that monster switch back on in my brain. And he's like, I don't think you understand. This is surgery. You're going to wake up in a lot more pain. We're going to be inside your body, manipulating, tearing muscles. I'm like, doc, I don't care. I got a ruptured appendix right now, and I'm handling it perfectly fine. Like, just give me my opportunity to do so. If I'm wrong and I need them afterwards, you can medicate me afterwards when I'm screaming in pain and can't take it anymore. But up until that point, I don't want them in my body. And the guy said, well, reluctantly, he agreed, because I told him straight up, I said, I do not consent to any narcotics being used. And I did so in the nicest way possible, but I'm like, listen, guy, I know my body. And I've been meditating and I've been praying, and everything was telling me, feel what your body feels. You can handle this. You're doing fine now. It's not going to be worse. You're going to feel better. So I stood with that. I took that leap of faith, and I trusted the message God was giving to me. Guys, I was so incredibly vindicated. I woke up from surgery, and I felt like 100 times better. And literally, they gave me a couple of Motrin and a couple of Tylenol, and I felt perfect. A little soreness, and, I've been, having gas pain when I eat, but they told me that's normal, right? That's to be expected. Guys, here it is Sunday, 1 week later, and I feel it almost, like, I'd say 99%, right? I'm still trying to be careful and follow the doctor's orders, but what I do is I lift things very carefully and see where I'm at before I, go full force. Guys, last night I picked up my 80-pound air conditioner and threw it my window like nothing. Tomorrow I'm going back to work. Tomorrow I'm going back to the gym. Now, I won't do anything that's directly in my core. I'm not going to be able to do curls because that, lifts. But pushing shoulders, bench press, I can do it. I can feel it. It doesn't tug on my stomach in a way that I know is going to cause me pain. And that's the beauty of it, guys. And that's what I do today. I pay attention. I am here to prove to my God that I'm obedient, and then I will take the leaps of faith that He plants me. And because I'm doing that, my life is blessed beyond measure. I don't like to bring finances into the picture, but guys, you guys know I've started the business, and I was somebody who was in immense amount of debt when I started this back 6 months ago, and I'm in a good place today. Like I'm comfortable. And I was a little, I'm like, what, Jesus Christ, if I can't work for the next 4 to 6 weeks, I'm like, all my savings will be pissed out the window. And guys, just doing because of that, right? Because I had that concern, God put all these opportunities for me to make money. Now, I didn't make my full week's pay because I was home healing for 3 days. I did nothing. But I did light duty and administrative stuff, and I still made 3 times my old 80-hour paycheck. Like, that's amazing to me, guys. All these things are happening because I'm taking leaps of faith at every opportunity. I'm being the most grateful, kind, considerate, compassionate person I can possibly be. Now, at the same time, because of that, I'm getting smoked by scammers left and right who think that because kindness, people mistake kindness for weakness at every turn. And that nothing could be further from the truth. I hate to whip out my sword and have to cut somebody off the knees, but I will do so in a moment's notice. And before I do, I give them the warning. Hey, listen, I see this coming a mile away. This is a scam. Stop, before I got to get ugly. And if they keep coming, then I end up having to get ugly. But I do so in the nicest way possible. Today, I get up and I went and had breakfast and talked to a friend of mine, and I found out that it's my niece's husband's birthday, so I reached out to him. I haven't met him yet. They just got married. And instead of doing a big wedding, his mother was sick, and she wanted them to hurry up and get married in the living room before she passed, and they did so just before she passed. So my sister and my brother and I were talking about today. I said, what a commendable thing to do, and that was really great. But what sucks is they left all their wedding gifts, and they're a young couple who don't have a lot of money, and they left all the gifts on the table to satisfy somebody else, and that sounded so much like the way I got married with my ex and I, because she just wanted to be married right away, and whatever. Love her to death, and we still communicate, and we're still friendly, but we made some mistakes, and I could see this young couple. So what I did, I went out and got them a card and got them a nice gift card and sent it off to the mail to them, because I know they're going to appreciate that, right? These are the things that I do today. That never would have crossed my mind today and before. Today I see things like that, and it's the little things like that, guys, that make the difference. They really do. When you put it out, and particularly in a week where I was concerned with the money that I was making, and what I did? I was starting to stress from the middle of the week, so I said, what? I'm going to go out and just spend a bunch of money and just get this out of my mind. And that's what I do today, guys. As soon as I see myself getting a hoarding pattern or, I'm getting a little greedy, I'll go out and donate something. I stopped at the Walgreens to get them a card today, and there's this kid in there. It's 100 degrees here in Boston, by the way. It's hot, muggy day. There's a kid in the Walgreens, and he looks clearly distressed. He's covered in sweat, and I just come up. I'm like, "What's up, my friend?" He said, "Oh, I can't get the Wi-Fi to work. I'm trying to rent a U-Haul truck. They won't take cash. I got to put it on my Cash App card, but I can't." So I go, "What's the issue?" Well, he didn't have Wi-Fi, and his internet was out. So, all right, tell you what, I got a hotspot. And I lit up my phone's hotspot, and I let him log onto my phone, and I helped him out, and of course the kid took it a step further. He started trying to, get me to, buy everything under the sun from him. But and again, so that's fine. I let him know. So listen, I'm an addict in early recovery. I'm not in a position to be buying anything that you're trying to sell out of the back of your U-Haul truck, but I help you out. And then I bought him a cold Gatorade because the kid was going to take a couple dollars out of the money he needed from U-Haul and hope he couldn't. Don't worry about it, dude. I got you. I'll buy you a Gatorade. And that's the thing, guys. I can do that today. I can see a situation where somebody's in need of a hand, and I can give them a hand, and I can still protect myself and not let it get into a situation where I'm being taken advantage of and letting me sour on my perspective of helping people. Because, guys, of all the things that I'm doing in my life, it is my desire to help other people that is making me happiest with who I am, and I love that. But at the same time, I understand in order to help other people, I've got to pour into myself. In order to love who I am, I've got to pour into myself, and I do. I put myself first in every equation, and then I do, but then I tend to do things over the top. I'm kind of an extremist in a lot of ways, so when things start going, they start going really good, and I take all that excess. And I'm not talking money, guys. I'm not out there handing money out left and right. I give a couple dollars to anybody that asks, in the section, or somebody else in front of the grocery store or whatever, because you know what? I've been there. And I know 9 times out of 10 it's going to bad use, but at the same time I'm just showing people this kindness, and I always follow it up with a recommendation of, listen, what's your situation? If you're using drugs or alcohol, this program's available, and I'll literally pull programs up on my phone and tell them where I've been, and I always stop and talk to them and let them know. They're always shocked because I'm doing so well today, and I look so healthy today, and I get so much beautiful feedback today. I let these people know that just a few short months ago I was 70 pounds lighter and strung out, and looking at being back on the street, and because, I turned it over to God and I do the best I do, like, my life is beautiful today. And there's nothing that I've done that everybody can't do. It's a matter of just being willing to take the steps. And yes, they're immensely scary at first. I'm the first to tell you guys, it's why I started this channel. I walked into rehab this time around in tears, terrified. I had no idea. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how I felt. I didn't know what mattered to me. Guys, no word of this is an exaggeration. I was just absolutely lost. But because I asked God to show me his path for me, and I asked him to let me walk in his light, and then I took steps to give reverence and to learn and to pay attention to every sign and synchronicity, everything that came to me was incredibly, just directly related. I was sitting in rehab a couple of days in, and one of the staff comes by with a handful of books, and anybody want to read a book? And I'm like, yeah, give me a book to read. And they handed me a book that I now own a copy of. It was about scientific prayer. That dropped in my lap, and right when I was thinking about, I gotta learn all this stuff. It was amazing, guys. That book was shocking. Literally put me on the path that I'm now. And half the prayers that I say every night I got from that book, and then tailored them to myself. And guys, it's working amazingly well. It's just about being the best you can, and paying attention and making a difference any way you can. And the more you start to do so, the better things will get. And it's going to take some time, guys. It took me a while to burn through. It took me months and months just to get to rehab, because I had all that shit karma sitting on my shoulder, and I was still making bad choices. But I was slowly doing and wanting better. So if you're in a bad place, I hate to advocate for harm reduction programs because they allow you to still use. And I'm a very hardliner. I can't do anything halfway. But if that's what it takes to get you in the door, then get it in. But guys, don't settle. Never, ever settle. Understand that everything is a journey. Everything is a progression. And as soon as you allow yourself to plateau and decide that you've made it, then you start to get stagnant and things start to go away. Challenge yourself to step up every single day, to be the best you can. Pay attention to the surroundings around you. Look for anywhere and everywhere you can make a difference in somebody else's day after you pour into yourself. You do so, your God, the God of your choosing, will see so, and he will reward you. I will say that 100% confident. I said it in my early videos. You guys watch when my life is going to be 6 months, a year from now. Guys, we're coming up on 6 months, and I'm in shock. I knew it was going to be good. I had no idea no idea where I was going with this or what it was going to be like. But guys, it's unbelievable. I went from being so lost and having no idea who I am to being somebody that's in control of so many things and doing so many good things and love myself in ways that I never thought that I could. And I don't say so, and guys, I'm not some CEO, not some, big famous guy, but I'm saying I'm turning into one of the best people I know because I'm intentionally being a better person every day. And it's blessing me beyond my wildest dreams. Stick around, it's getting good, it's only going to get better. I can't wait to see what it looks like a year from now. I have no idea because I remove myself from the equation because I know I don't. If I give myself the control and the go for a desired outcome, I'll just limit myself. So I'm not. I'm an unlimited human being, just like all of you are. So I'm asking my higher power, God, whom I choose to call God, just to show me the steps, show me the path. I will continue to take the leaps of faith when and that's the other thing, guys. I'm not afraid to ask God to correct me because I know nothing's linear, everything's secular. Certain things I just can't say. I'll avoid that word from now on. But I understand that I'm not perfect by any means. I fail constantly. I fall short all the time. But I try to pay attention to that, and I ask God to show me where that I do so that I can do better the next time. And typically I do better the next time. And it's funny, I'll do it without even realizing it. But the second that I've done it, then I go, wow, look at that. And when I do, I stop and I thank God. It's beautiful, guys. The state of gratitude is the most amazing thing, man. A little bit of gratitude changes literally everything in your world. If there's anything else I can press upon you, that would be it. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you more than you possibly can imagine. God loves you more than you know. Love yourself, man. Thank you so much. God loves you. I love you. We'll see you in the next one.